Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here. After weeks of speculation and back and forths, we all know now that Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Anthony Joshua 2 is on, goes down on December the 7th in Saudi Arabia. And the build up to this fight already has me interested, I can't lie. And one comment that Andy Ruiz Jr. made kind of got my attention, and I like the attitude, I've got to say. Andy Ruiz Jr., he reacted a couple of days ago to the news that this fight is official. He said, "I dethroned the king on June 1st and made history becoming the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion of the world. I'm looking forward to ending his career in the desert." Now, to me, that sounds damn cold, and I like it. That's the type of confidence and enthusiasm I'm expecting from Andy Ruiz going into this rematch. I fully expect him to be confident that he can repeat the job second time around. And what he said in regards to ending Joshua's career is kind of interesting. In your opinion, would a defeat for Joshua in this Ruiz rematch signal the end of his career? Do you think Anthony Joshua would retire if he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr.? I certainly think it's a possibility, but, he could still carry on, but obviously his star power would be greatly diminished. He wouldn't be a shot caller anymore, and he wouldn't be the landlord, as he once said. So a defeat for Joshua in this rematch would be catastrophic for his career going forwards. Obviously, it wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility to come back from it, but it would be a huge ask to do so. And listen, the dude's made a lot of money. If he did lose to Ruiz Jr. in a rematch, would I be surprised if Joshua called it a day? Not really, to be honest. I mean, I've heard he's getting paid $50 million for this rematch with Ruiz Jr. Maybe the people around Joshua, his management, his promoter Eddie Hearn, maybe they believe there's a strong possibility that Joshua loses this rematch, and as a result, what they're doing is they are having the rematch in the venue of the highest bidder to maximise the earnings in case he does lose. And I have heard that theory, potentially this is a cash out, and, being in Saudi Arabia, if worst comes to worst, at least they've got a boatload of money to ride off into the sunset with. That's definitely a possibility, and it's worth considering. But the whole angle of Joshua's career being on the line in this rematch, how's that going to affect Joshua? Because Ruiz Jr. is not the only one saying that. A lot of people are saying that a defeat for Joshua is catastrophic. He's fighting for his future in a sense. That's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of anybody, And listen, one of the excuses for Joshua losing his last fight to Ruiz Jr. was the fact that it was in the USA and the pressure was a bit too much. That was one of the excuses. I mean, let's say that was true. I don't think it is, but let's say that was true. How's this dude going to handle the pressure of fighting for his career when his back's against the wall? Will he crumble, like in New York? Or will he respond and regain his belts? I think this angle of the fight is interesting. The fact that Joshua's career is seen as being on the line. I think that's an interesting dynamic. I believe that's an interesting intangible. And I'm looking forward to the build-up of this fight, to be quite honest. I really am. I'm interested to see how Joshua approaches it, how he is in, press conferences leading up to the fight, how he is around Andy Ruiz Jr. second time around. I'm really looking forward to the build-up of this one. Usually with fights, I've got to be honest, I'm not one to watch a lot of build-up. I don't really like watching press conferences. I don't really like watching open workouts or anything like that. Just for weigh-in and then the fight. That's me. But this fight, there's a lot of interesting factors going into it. There really is. And I've touched on a few in the past. I've expressed concerns about Andy Ruiz going into the rematch, having the attitude that he's won the lottery. For me, that doesn't really bode well for longevity. And I am worried about Ruiz from that perspective. But on the flip side, Joshua's not exactly filling me with confidence right now. So as a boxing fan, as a guy who doesn't really have a dog in the race, I've got to say, I'm really looking forward to the build-up. I'm really looking forward to the fight. And I'm excited. I really am. The end of the year is looking good. We've got Joshua, Ruiz, Vodzik, Beterbiev. Spence versus Porter, Prograis Taylor, Inoue Donaire. There's loads of good stuff to look forward to, and yeah, this is just one of the fights. Share your thoughts below. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on this. Drop a comment below. Peace.